Okay, let's unpack this. We're diving into a topic today that a lot of people intellectually get behind, but emotionally they can struggle with it for years.
Oh, for sure.
Forgiveness. And this isn't just, about small slights. This deep dive is really built around a pretty profound idea, which is that true freedom and really opening your heart to a new kind of self-love depends on forgiving others, sure, but maybe more crucially, forgiving yourself.
It's the ultimate inner work, really. And frankly, the source material we've gathered for you today, it does not pull any punches.
No, it doesn't.
We're looking at excerpts from day 15 of this self-development program, and it's all focused on releasing these old beliefs that have been blocking our progress. The whole point, the whole mission of this section is to make you feel fundamentally lighter, to just let go of all that emotional weight from the past.
That concept, emotional weight, is so critical. It's like we carry around these invisible cinder blocks.
Yeah.
Past hurts, old embarrassments, grudges we've held forever.
Yeah.
And then we wonder why we're so tired.
Exactly. And the sources, they define the high stakes immediately. The second you choose not to forgive, you are basically signing up to be stuck in the prison of self-righteous resentment.
Wow. Self-righteous resentment. That sounds like a terrible place to live.
It is. And the trade-off, according to this material, is brutally simple.
Look at that.
We get to be right, but we never get to be happy.
Oof.
Yeah. I mean, when you cling to that resentment, you're just insisting you were wronged, you're justified, you're correct. But that moral high ground, it becomes a cage. You're trading joy for bitterness.
That is a staggering realization, especially for anyone who's held a grudge for, decades. So the mission today, then, is to break down the philosophy and, maybe more importantly, the actual tools, the things you can do yourself to get out of that stuck, bitter place.
Right, and into a life that's defined by freedom. We're going from prisoner to architect of a joyous life. So let's start with that prison.
Yeah.
What is the real personal cost of holding on?
Well, the sources use one of the most powerful and, almost disturbing analogies I've ever read for what bitterness does to you.
I think I know the one you mean.
It says holding a grudge is like swallowing a teaspoon of poison every day.
And that's not just some flowery metaphor, right? We know physically that stress, chronic anger, it takes a measurable toll on the body.
Absolutely.
This material says if you keep yourself tied to the past, always replaying the hurt, it becomes, and this is a quote, impossible to be healthy and free. You're literally self-limiting. Every time you refuse to forgive, you're actively preventing self-love from even having a chance to grow. You put your emotional health on hold, just waiting.
Waiting for an apology that might never even come.
Right.
And the sheer psychological energy it must take just to maintain that anger, to keep those files ready to go.
It's exhausting. That's the price of being right.
Yeah,
But, and here's the good news in all this, you always have freedom of choice.
Yeah.
You can choose to stay stuck in that bitterness, or you can make a conscious decision to just let it go and move on.
That sounds like a long-term commitment, though. Because for a lot of people, the first thing they want when they've been hurt is, well, let's be honest, it's justice. Or maybe a little revenge.
And the sources have a crystal clear warning about that. They say, please do not waste your time trying to get even.
Why not, though? Isn't there some satisfaction in it?
Fleeting, maybe, but not freedom. The principle here is foundational. What you give out always comes back to you. If you're putting out energy focused on harm, on retribution, you're just feeding that same negative loop. You stay in the vibration of the pain.
So to truly drop it, you have to focus your energy inward, not on the other person.
Exactly. And that shift from the external to the internal is what makes this next part so challenging, but so necessary. It's what the material calls a spiritual lesson.
Right.
Yes. This is where we try to understand, without condoning. It's the idea that everyone is doing the best they can at any given moment, limited by their own understanding, their own awareness.
Okay, I have to push back on that a little bit.
Yeah.
Because that can sound really dismissive if someone intentionally, maliciously hurt you.
Yeah.
It feels impossible to say they were doing their best.
And that's where the nuance is so important. When they say doing the best they can, it's not about their moral performance. It's about their emotional and psychological capacity in that moment.
So, what does that mean?
Well, the material connects it back to root causes. It observes that people who mistreat others were often themselves mistreated in childhood.
So the pain they cause is a reflection of the pain they carry.
Precisely. The sources say the greater the level of violence, the greater their inner pain. Their lashing out is just, It's an unprocessed wound, and you, unfortunately, were just in the path of that explosion.
Okay, this is the really crucial distinction we have to make for anyone listening. Understanding this is not making their behavior acceptable. It's not an excuse.
Absolutely not. This understanding is purely a strategic move for your own spiritual growth, for your freedom. It's
Mm,
like psychological Aikido. You use the knowledge of their limitation to free yourself.
I like that.
The sources are really clear. The incident itself is likely over, perhaps long over. You're the one keeping it on replay in your mind. This just gives you permission to turn off the projector.
But what if it's not over? What if someone listening is in a situation right now where the pain is ongoing,
Yeah.
in a toxic relationship or something? Does forgiveness just mean you stay?
No, not at all. It means raising your self-worth.
Yeah.
The material poses this really critical, gut-wrenching question for that exact situation.
Which is,
Why do you think so little of yourself that you still put up with it?
wow.
Yeah. It immediately shifts the focus. Forgiveness in that context means forgiving yourself for allowing it to continue and then claiming your power to leave.
So the freedom to let go of the past also means the freedom to walk away from a painful present.
That's it. It's a fundamental reframing of power, which leads us perfectly into the action steps. Because the
Yeah.
key insight here is that forgiveness is seldom for others. It is for you. And the sources say the real work, the deep work, is done in your own heart and in front of your mirror. You don't need to call anyone up. The change happens in the space between you and your own reflection.
Okay, so let's get into the specifics of this mirror work exercise, because speaking these painful truths out loud to yourself, that sounds incredibly vulnerable.
It is. That vulnerability is the whole key. So step one is just grounding yourself. You sit comfortably in front of a mirror, close your eyes, breathe deeply, just feel grounded in your body.
And then the internal review starts.
Yep. You let the thought of the people who've hurt you, big and small, just pass through your mind, no judgment. Then you focus on one person, open your eyes, and start talking to your reflection as if they were there.
What are the words? What do you actually say?
Well, you might start by acknowledging the pain, something like, you hurt me deeply, but then you pivot immediately to reclaiming your power. I will not stay stuck in the past any longer. I am willing to forgive you.
I'm willing to forgive you.
Yes. The material really emphasizes that just stating your willingness is often enough to start breaking the hold. You don't have to feel it completely yet. Just be willing.
And after you make that spoken contract with yourself,
You breathe and you affirm the freedom you're claiming. I forgive you. I set you free. And then the really powerful part, you are free. I am free.
I am free.
And as you do this, you just notice what's happening in your body. If there's resistance, a tightness, you just acknowledge it. You can even affirm your willingness to release that resistance too.
I like that the material acknowledges how hard this is. It's not some magic trick.
Not at all. It's explicitly called a process, not an event. They compare it to peeling away the layers of an onion.
That's a great image.
You might peel one layer, feel a huge shift, but then the resistance comes back later. And that's okay. You just put the onion down and come back to it another day.
So after we work through the outward hurts, we have to face the toughest one,
Right.
ourselves.
The toughest one of all.
It's just so much easier to forgive others than it is to forgive our own mistakes. We demand perfection of ourselves.
We are absolutely our own harshest judges. So the second major tool here is journaling, specifically for self-forgiveness. You start by creating a peaceful space. Maybe put on some soft, relaxed music.
And then comes the hard part.
The hard part, you take your journal and you write down everything. And I mean everything. You're angry with yourself about every perceived failure, every embarrassment, no holding back.
The source material gives that almost heartbreakingly specific example, right?
It does. The humiliation of wetting your pants in the first grade, things we carry for decades without even realizing it. The whole point is to just excavate all that hidden emotional sludge.
Okay, so once you have that list, that map of self-blame, what do you do with it?
For each item, you write a corresponding positive affirmation. You're turning a statement of self-punishment into one of self-compassion.
So for example, if you wrote, I'll never forgive myself for that, the affirmation would be,
Something like, that past is done. This is a new moment. I am free to let go. You are verbally, in writing, dismantling the power of the past over your present.
that seems like a really intense mental exercise, but there's a final step, isn't there? Something
Yeah.
physical.
Yes, and it seems so counterintuitive after all that quiet reflection. It's the ultimate somatic release.
What do you do?
After you finish writing, you put the journal down, you go outside, a park, a beach, wherever, and you run wild and free. And not a polite jog.
Uh-huh, okay.
You were told to run, do somersaults, skip, laugh. Just move that energy.
Wait, if someone sees me doing somersaults in the park, that might just create a whole new thing to be embarrassed about. How does that connect to the serious work we just did?
It's the physical proof of freedom. The whole point is to take your inner child outdoors. That's the part of you that still carries the pain of, the first great incident.
Right.
By moving your body in these joyous, spontaneous, even silly ways, you're showing yourself physically that you are no longer constrained by shame. It makes the mental shift tangible.
It's like the exclamation point on the whole process. And the whole point of this entire day's lesson is to raise your self-esteem so you can start allowing only loving experiences into your life.
Exactly. And that requires a new internal script. So let's bring it all together with some of the key affirmations from the sources.
Okay, let's do it. Where do we start?
Well, the foundation is, as I forgive myself, it becomes easier to forgive others. It has to start inside.
Of course.
And then we declare our emotional state open. The door to my heart opens inward. I move through forgiveness to love.
I love that. Forgiveness isn't for them, it's a doorway for you.
Precisely. And then there's the crucial realization about time.
About letting yesterday control today.
Exactly. The past is over, so it has no power now. The thoughts of this moment create my future. This is you claiming your own agency.
Which connects to that other powerful one. I refuse to be helpless anymore. I claim my own power.
It's a total declaration of sovereignty over your own life. And the final goal statement wraps it all up.
Which one is that?
I give myself the gift of freedom from the past and move with joy into the now.
It's a gift that you give to yourself. That's beautiful.
It is.
And the ultimate thought that closes day 15, it kind of synthesizes everything, right? It brings together the understanding for the other person and the freedom for yourself.
It does. It says, we are all doing the best we can at any given moment, and this is also true for me. The past is over and done. I am my own unique self, and I choose to open my heart and allow love, compassion, and understanding to flesh out all memories of past pain.
Wow.
So the core takeaway for you listening right now is this. Forgiveness is not passive. It's one of the strongest claims of personal power you can possibly make. It's a choice to accept that all the changes ahead for you are going to be positive ones because you've removed the limits of yesterday.
And to leave you with a really provocative thought about the power of this internal shift. The source material notes this strange, almost magical phenomenon.
Oh, yeah, this is incredible.
It says, many people who have truly completed this cycle, who found that freedom in their heart, will, a month or two later, get an unexpected phone call or an email from the very person they forgave.
And that person is asking them for forgiveness.
Exactly.
And the sources note this seems to happen most often after doing forgiveness exercises in front of a mirror. It's a reminder that when you change your internal energy, your external reality often has to shift to match it. You don't send the message, the universe just, it gets it.
That is a truly powerful thought to chew on as you start peeling your own onion.